really just a way of working. The general program is that it's a home studio. Okay, so there's two parts. There's those two giant oak trees. So the whole time you're just under these oak trees with the light coming through the leaves. Have you ever sat under a live oak canopy? You know, it's shaded, but you still have the light, and there's a breeze. There's a light. The light comes through from the sun, but it's like spotted. I don't know if you ever see the eclipse when an eclipse comes through. Like the ground is like, it has all these like little moon shapes. And especially through, like when it comes through the trees, it's like amplified. So you see all these little spots of light. And that's what it's like, is the light through the trees, to the oak tree canopy. It's spotted. So, okay. So there's an idea about space there that has to do with light, the light quality, and the closure, which is you're under a canopy. It's natural. There's wind. Okay, so the house, if I'm going to make a space under the tree, it should be like that. So now we layer onto that an idea about what architecture is to me, like a building. A building should be something permanent. It should leave you with a sense of security, permanence. When you're in a space, you should have a sense of direction based on sort of landmarks. I think this comes from, like if you go to the ruins, like Mayan ruins, or even in Italy, Rome, there's the Pantheon. And there's these iconic parts. Even in Siena, you go to Siena, the old city of Siena. You're going through the city, and there's like a church with a tower at one point that's you see through a brick archway. Well, you know where you are when you come to that because it's identifiable. And so back to this sort of ruin, like in the Mayan ruins, there's a pyramid, and you can tell by the way it's laid out where you are and the function of things. So we want to mark the site, mark the space with permanent lines. Okay, so let's create a shell that creates space and that is made out of something very permanent. We gotta do that. Everything that we do has to reinforce that basic concept. And then we have the glass line and a screen line that to separate spaces. We're trying not to add things that can take away from the concept. It's a sort of clean concept about the shell and the floating plane. The idea is as you lay it out, you try to reinforce the concept. Don't do anything that muddies up the concept. And the concept is you got a clean shell system that sort of marks the landscape like a ruin, and you have a floating plane that filters light. Close the tops of all the walls between 9 feet, the top of the birch between 9 feet, and the ceiling 10.6. We close that with glass, and then we'll get into some of the details. So then, how do you do that? How do you close the glass? In other words, all the details have to reinforce that simple concept. So none of the details are going to be, you can't just take them off the shelf, really. No, and that's why it's designed.